You sit in a plastic chair, in a laundromat that smells of warm cotton. A row of machines hums in front of you, spinning slow and steady, and you hold a folded newspaper you are not really reading. The whole town walks past the window. None of them look at you. You are the oldest jacket in the room, the quietest man on the street, and to every single person here, you are just another customer waiting on a wash. That is what they think. They think you fed a few coins into a machine like everyone else, and now you are killing time. They are wrong. You did not come here to wash clothes. You own this building. You own the floor, the machines, the change dispenser by the door, and the quiet little camera in the corner that watches it all. And it does not stop there. You own the one across town, the busy one by the bus stop. You own 28 more after that. 30 laundromats, all yours, all humming through the night while the city sleeps. Nobody on this street knows that the brokest-looking man they have ever seen quietly collects more quarters in a week than most of them earn in a month. They feel a little sorry for you. They hold doors. They offer you the good chair, and you let them, because that is the whole trick. You look down at the machines, all of them turning, all of them dropping coins into your pocket 1 quarter at a time, and you turn a page of your paper. 30 machine rooms that never sleep, never call in sick, never ask for a raise. This is the story of how the most boring storefront on every corner became a silent cash empire. And it all started with one ugly little store that everyone, even the man who owned it, had completely given up on. You have worn the same flat cap for 10 years. It is faded now, soft at the brim, the kind of cap a man buys once and never thinks about again. That is on purpose. You pack your own lunch in a paper bag. You ride the bus, and the bus rolls right past 2 stores you own, and you never once look up. People who sit next to you would never guess. That is exactly how you want it. Here is the thing the loud world never learns. The quietly rich do not look rich. They do not drive the loud car or wear the loud watch. They own the boring thing that nobody respects, the thing everyone walks past, and they let the world feel sorry for them while the money piles up in silence. You were never the smart one in the family. You were never the flashy one, the one with the big idea at dinner, the one chasing the next shiny thing. You were the patient one, the one who waited, the one who noticed the little store on the corner that everyone else thought was beneath them. While your cousin chased deals that sounded exciting and fell apart, you watched the same coins drop into the same machines, week after week, and you understood something simple. Boring is safe. Boring is steady. Boring, done right, is a money machine that hums all night and asks nothing of you. The disguise is not a trick to fool people for fun. The disguise is the strategy. When nobody thinks you have anything, nobody competes with you for it. Nobody else wants the ugly store. So you get it cheap, and you get it quiet, and you keep it forever. And it all started with one tired little store on Mercer Street, a store with a cracked sign and a leaking machine, and an old man behind the counter who had simply run out of road. Everyone had given up on that place, even the man who owned it, especially the man who owned it. You push open the door of the Mercer Street laundromat, and a little bell rattles. Inside it is dim. 3 machines sit dead and silent with handwritten out-of-order notes taped to their glass. The change dispenser by the wall is cracked. There is lint on every surface, soft and gray, like dust that has settled for years. And behind the counter sits Sol. Sol is 70 years old. He has run this store for 30 years, and you can see all 30 of them in his shoulders. He is tired in a way that sleep does not fix. He just wants out. He tells you plainly that he is done, that his knees are done, that he should have sold years ago. And here is the first lesson, and you learn it standing right there in the lint and the quiet. You do not want a brand new store. You never build new. When you build new, you open the doors and you pray that people show up, and you spend months bleeding money while you wait for strangers to find you. But Sol's tired old store already has customers. The young couple folding laundry in the corner come every single week. The people on this block have no machines at home. They have come here for years, and they will come next week too, whether Sol is behind the counter or you are. You are not buying a building. You are buying a stream of people who already show up and already pay. You inherit the customers and the cash flow on day one. Sol names a price, and it sounds like almost nothing, because he is not trying to win. He is trying to leave. This is the quiet secret of boring businesses. Nobody is fighting you for them. No crowd of buyers drives the price up. The seller just wants out. And a man who just wants out will hand you the keys for a fair, gentle number and feel relieved to do it. You shake Sol's hand. The bell rattles again as you step back into the light, and the ugly little store on Mercer Street is yours. You walk the floor of your new store and you count 40 washers in a row, plus the dryers along the far wall. 40 machines in a neighborhood packed with apartments where almost nobody has a washer at home. Let that sink in, because the math is beautiful and almost nobody respects it. Every person on this block has to wash their clothes somewhere. Not once, not when they feel like it. Every single week, like clockwork forever. They cannot skip it. They cannot put it off for long. And there is no machine in their kitchen to do it for them. So they come to you. A busy store like this, 40 washers in a dense rental area, throws off somewhere around $20,000 to $40,000 a month in coins and card payments. After the rent, the water, the power, and the small repairs, you keep around 20 to 35 cents of every dollar. That is your net margin, and it lands every month because the customers come back every week. You spend nothing on marketing. You do not chase anyone. Around 9 in 10 of your customers are repeat customers who would come whether you advertised or not. Now look at what the town chases instead. Your cousin pours money into a flashy startup that sounds exciting at dinner and is gone by spring. The neighbors trade on a hot stock tip and watch it sink. They want the thrill. They want the story they can tell. And meanwhile, you own the most boring building on the corner, the one they all walk past, and it quietly pays you whether the world is booming or breaking. People still need clean clothes in a recession. They need them even more. Here is the line worth remembering, the one that makes people stop and think. A laundromat is the most boring business in the world, and that is exactly why it is the safest money machine in town. Around 94 out of 100 of them are still open 5 years later. Boring does not mean weak. Boring means it does not die. You start with the 3 dead machines. Sol left them broken for years, taped over, written off as lost. You kneel down behind the first one, and you find the problem in 10 minutes. A small part has worn out. A water valve, a belt, a coin mechanism gummed up with old soap. You order the part. It costs you around $400. 2 days later, the machine spins again, clean and quiet, and a dead corner of your store is suddenly a working corner that earns money every single day. Think about that. Those 3 machines sat dark for years, earning nothing, and a few cheap parts brought them back to life. That is pure profit, because the rent on that floor space was already being paid whether the machines ran or not. You were paying to heat empty corners. Now those corners pay you. This is the heart of the whole game. You buy a tired store and you fix what nobody bothered to service. Every small fix is almost all profit, because the building and the customers were already there waiting. So you keep going. You add a card reader and a tap-to-pay panel, so the customer who has no coins can still wash, and the young couple who only carry a phone never walk out frustrated again. You drop a small vending machine by the door that sells detergent and softener and dryer sheets, the things people always forget, at a healthy markup. You install a couple of cameras and a remote lock on your phone, so you do not need to pay an attendant to sit here all day. You can check the store from the bus. You can open the door for a customer from across town. Little by little, the dead store wakes up. The machines hum. The vending unit clicks. The card reader beeps. And the place that Sol gave up on starts to sound, for the first time in years, like a business that is alive. Now you do something so small that nobody even notices. You raise the price of a wash by 1/4 25 cents. That is it. The sign that said $2 now says 2.25. A customer who washes a load barely registers it. Nobody storms out. Nobody complains. Nobody leaves. Because where would they go? They have no machine at home. The next laundromat is a long bus ride away. For 1 extra quarter, they are not going to carry a basket of wet clothes across town. So they pay it, and they keep coming exactly like before. Now let me do the multiplication out loud, because this is where the quiet power lies. 1 quarter does nothing on its own, but this store runs hundreds of washes every week. Say 500 washes a week. A fair number for a busy 40-washer store. 500 quarters a week is $125 a week. Multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, and you have added around $6,500 in pure profit. Pure, because nothing extra was spent to earn it. The same machines, the same water, the same customers. Just 1 quarter more, on a price nobody could feel. This is the secret of a business people return to every single week. Tiny changes that are invisible to any one customer become real money when they repeat hundreds of times, week after week, year after year. You did not raise the rent on anyone's life. You moved a price by a coin, and the coin, multiplied by every wash and every week, quietly became thousands of dollars a year, flowing into your pocket while the town keeps feeling sorry for the old man in the patched jacket. The Mercer Street store is now a small, calm, reliable cash machine. It runs without you. It pays you whether you visit or not. And the moment it started paying, you started looking for the next one. Here is where one store becomes 30, and it is simpler than you think. The Mercer Street store now sends you steady cash every month. You do not spend it. You do not buy a nicer car or a bigger house. You let it pile up quietly, and when it is big enough, that pile becomes the down payment on store number 2. Across town there is another tired laundromat, another owner who is done, another fair and gentle price because nobody else is fighting for it. You buy it the same way you bought the first. You inherit its customers. You fix its broken machines. You add the card reader and the vending unit. You nudge the price a quarter, and now you have 2 small cash machines instead of 1. And here is the part the town never understands. You never had to be rich to do this. You were never sitting on a fortune. Each store paid for the next. Store 1 funded the down payment on store 2. Stores 1 and 2 together funded store 3. 3 funded 4. The money you made did not get spent on a life that looks impressive. It got planted again and again into the next ugly store. This is a roll-up. You are not making one giant risky bet. You are gathering a basket of small, steady, boring cash flows. And a basket of many small streams is far safer than one big gamble. If one store has a slow month, the other 29 carry it. Watch the map fill in. A pin here, a pin across the river, a pin by the train station, by the college, in the quiet suburb. Year by year, more pins, while you wear the same faded cap and ride the same bus and eat the same paper bag lunch. You weren't building an empire on purpose. You never sat down and decided to own 30 stores. You were just buying the next ugly store every time the last one paid for it. And quietly, 1 quarter at a time, the pins kept multiplying. Not everyone is kind about it. Your cousin, the one who chases viral startups and big shiny ideas, laughs in your face. He calls it the quarter business. He cannot believe a grown man spends his days fixing coin machines and emptying change. He has a slide deck and a dream and a story that sounds exciting. You have lint on your sleeve and a bag of quarters. He feels sorry for you and he tells his friends about it. Let him. The bank is no warmer. When you go in to borrow against your steady stores, a young banker almost will not lend on. In his words, just a laundromat. He has never seen one up close. He does not know that just a laundromat pays more reliably than half the flashy businesses he funds. He sees the patched jacket, the worn cap, the boring storefront, and he underestimates the whole thing. The neighbors pity you too. They hold the door. They offer you the good chair. They lower their voices when they talk about the poor old man who has to do his own laundry at the corner shop. And here is the refrain, the thing you must understand. Every one of those jabs is the disguise working perfectly. Being underestimated is not an insult. It is your single greatest advantage. Nobody competes with you for the business they think is beneath them. Your cousin would never lower himself to buy a laundromat, so he never bids against you. The banker's clients chase the loud deals, so the quiet ones stay cheap. The whole town has decided you are not worth a second look, and that decision is worth millions to you. So you let them think whatever they want. You do not correct the cousin. You do not argue with the banker. You do not explain to the kind neighbor that you own the building she pities you in. You just smile and nod and let them feel a little sorry for you, and you keep buying the next ugly store in silence. Now picture the whole city at night. 30 storefronts glow soft and white across the map, in the busy districts and the quiet suburbs, by the college and the train station and the bus stop. Every one of them is humming. Machines turning, dryers tumbling, coins dropping, card readers beeping, vending units clicking out little boxes of detergent at midnight. 30 stores, and every single one is yours. And not one person in this city knows it. The customers folding laundry do not know. The neighbors who pity you do not know. The banker who almost would not lend does not know. Your own cousin does not know. 30 machine rooms that never sleep, never call in sick, never quit, never ask for a raise, all pouring steady weekly cash into the pocket of a man the whole town walks past like furniture. Let me say it warmly, without bragging, because the numbers do not need a loud voice. 30 stores, each one a small, reliable cash machine, together throwing off more money every month than most people see in years. No boss, no commute, no alarm clock, no meetings, no one watching over you, because no one even knows you are there. And where are you, the owner of all of it? You are right back where this story started. You are sitting in a plastic chair in the Mercer Street laundromat, the first ugly store you ever bought, the one Sol handed over because he just wanted out. You are reading your folded paper. The machines turn in front of you. The warm cotton smell hangs in the air. A customer walks past and feels a little sorry for the quiet old man in the worn cap, and you turn a page because you understand the opening image now fully. 30 machine rooms that never sleep, and the richest man on the street is the one everyone feels a little sorry for. That was the plan all along. That was always the point, to win so quietly that no one ever knew there was a game. Now strip away the fantasy, because here is what you actually keep. You do not need 30 laundromats. You never did. You need one boring, recurring, existing cash business, bought tired and improved gently over time. That is the whole playbook, and it fits in your hand. Hold onto these principles, because they outlast any one story. First, buy, do not build. Do not open a brand new thing and pray strangers show up. Buy something that already has customers and already makes money, so you earn from day one instead of bleeding while you wait. Second, recurring beats one-off. A business people come back to every week, like washing clothes, is worth far more than one big sale you have to chase over and over. Recurring money is calm money. Third, fix what others ignored. The easy profit is in the dead machine nobody serviced, the broken thing the tired owner gave up on. You do not need a genius idea. You need to repair what is already there. Fourth, raise prices invisibly. A small, gentle increase that no single customer feels becomes real money when it repeats across hundreds of sales and 52 weeks. Fifth, reinvest the cash into the next unit. Do not spend your profit looking impressive. Plant it. Let each one fund the next, and let the basket of small, steady streams protect you. And sixth, stay boring on purpose. The disguise is the strategy. When you own the thing nobody respects, nobody competes for it, and nobody sees you coming. But be honest with yourself about the cost. This is not magic. It is work. It is patience. It is years of buying ugly stores and fixing dead machines and emptying coins while the world feels sorry for you. It is slow. It is unglamorous. It is quiet. But quiet, repeated long enough with discipline, is exactly how the man in the patched jacket ends up owning the whole street, while everyone keeps walking past him like furniture. So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself for a moment. If you owned 30 laundromats, and every machine on every corner quietly paid you while the whole town thought you were broke, would you ever tell a single soul? Would you correct the neighbor who holds the door and feels sorry for you? Would you set the record straight with the cousin who laughs at the quarter business? Or would you keep wearing the old cap, keep riding the bus, keep reading your paper in the plastic chair, and just let them wonder? There is a strange and gentle power in being underestimated. When the world decides you have nothing, you are free. Nobody watches you. Nobody envies you. Nobody competes with you. You get to win in silence, with no one trying to take it from you, because no one even knows there is anything to take. That is the warmth at the center of this whole idea. It is not about fooling people to feel superior. It is about the quiet peace of not needing anyone to know. So here is what I want from you. Drop one comment below and tell me this. What is the most boring business you secretly think could quietly make you rich? The car wash on the corner, the vending machines in the office, the little storage units by the highway, the mobile home park nobody looks at twice. Whatever it is, the one everyone walks past, the one that sounds too dull to matter, write it down below. I read them, and I promise you, the most boring answers are almost always the best ones. Because the truth this whole channel is built on is simple. The loudest businesses get all the attention. The quietest ones get all the money. And the man who understands that gets to sit in a plastic chair, smell the warm cotton, turn a page of his paper, and let the whole town feel a little sorry for him. Charlie made his fortune 1/4 at a time, in the real world, with his own 2 hands. Tired stores, dead machines, coins in a cloth bag, pins on a map. Slow, patient, physical, real. He built an empire you could walk into and touch, and still nobody knew it was his. But here is the thing about quiet money. There is always a quieter way. Across town, there is another man in another worn cap, and the whole street thinks he fixes bicycles for a living. Oily hands, a small shop, nothing to look at twice, and he is about to make more than any laundromat owner in this city. Without a single machine, without a single store, without a single building to fix. He will never empty a coin box. He will never repair a broken washer. He will never own a storefront at all. Instead, every night, while the street sleeps, an army of 1,000 tireless workers he quietly built will be wide awake, answering phones, booking appointments, chasing money for 50 different businesses across the country, none of whom will ever meet him, none of whom will ever know his name. 1,000 workers who never sleep, never quit, and never ask for a raise, run from a tiny back room behind a bicycle shop by a man the whole town walks past. How do you build an army like that with no money, no staff, and no one ever knowing? That is the next story. Next time, the night you switched on the very first one. If you want to be there when it begins, take a quiet second and subscribe, so the next chapter finds you. No rush, no noise, just the calm, steady voice you know. And one more secret the quietly rich would rather you never heard. Until then, keep your cap low, keep your eyes open, and remember, the richest man on the street is almost never the one who looks it.